A basic, simple strategy using the don't come. Hey everyone, it's Mike. Welcome back to my channel. So this strategy today is going to be a follow-up to my basic strategy showing how the don't pass and the don't come bets work, also known as the dark side. I'm going to show a strategy that a lot of you may have already seen, but it's a really good strategy using the don'ts. It's actually going to use the don't come. Okay, this is the Arnold, and it's by Waylon's Way. And here is a link to his channel. You should go out and check him out. He has a lot of good videos. But this strategy is the first strategy that he showed where we're going to play Waylon's Way from the pass line. My next video, I'll show the variation on how to play the Waylon's Way from the don't pass. So basically, playing from the pass line, remember, to play a pass line, you do a pass line bet before the point is established. So what you're going to do is you're going to decide how many units, how many chips make up one unit. Because what you're going to do is you're going to use a 4-to-1 ratio on these bets. So just for illustrations, let's say that our unit bet is $25, a $25 chip. So we're going to place a 1x or a $25 bet in the pass line. And this is before the point is established. If a point comes out, the puck will move to that point. This bet will win if the point is hit before the 7. Okay, we know that. What we're going to do at this point is we're going to put 4x, in this case 100, in the DC. Okay, now DC bets and come bets are after the point's established. So just for this illustration, let's get a point. Let's go ahead and roll and get a point. Okay, that's an 11. That wins on the pass line. It's not a point. I think I want my turbo mode on. Let's go ahead and get a point. Okay, the point's an 8. The puck moves to the 8. Now we will put a 4x bet in the don't come. Some people call it the DC. So you might hear the DC or the don't come. Now we're going to roll. This is where you're most vulnerable. If you roll a 7 right here, you're going to lose your pass line. You're going to lose your don't come. Okay? Remember, come bets win on 7-11, just like pass line bets win on 7-11. Don't come and don't pass lose on 7-11. So a 7, you will lose. So that, every strategy has a vulnerability. This is the vulnerability. So let's go ahead and roll and let's avoid the 7. Okay, there's the 10. Now, the bet in the don't come moves behind the 10. Now, this bet will win if you roll a 7. So if you rolled a 7 right now, you would lose your pass line, but you would win your don't come bet that's behind the 10. At this point, we will play continuous 1 unit come bets. So go back to the 1 unit, put it in the come. Okay? Let's roll. Let's show how this works. Okay, there's the 12. The come is just like the pass line, but it's after the point. It wins on 7-11. It loses on 2, 3, and 12. So you lost that. When you lose this, you just replace it. There's the 7. Let's look at that. 7. 7 and 11 win on the come. 7 wins on your don't come behind the 10. And 7 loses on the pass line. So these two bets will cancel each other out and you will win $100. And that's the end of that game. You start over at that point. Okay, so everything's off. The puck is off. $25 in the pass. Let's get a point. 7-11 wins, just like we started the last time. We started with a 11, and that's a win. Let's go ahead and get a point. 2, 3, 12 loses. We just gave it back. Let's reestablish the pass line. There's an 8. Okay. Now the puck moves to the 8. We want to put 4 units or 100 in the don't come, in the DC. Let's roll. There's a 5. This will move to the 5. It will move behind the 5. Okay, I want to get my terminology straight. This will move behind the 5. Now we'll put 1 unit in the come. There's a 9. This come bet moves to the 9. See the difference? Behind the 5, to the 9. Put another come bet out. Continuous come bets. Let's go ahead and roll. There's an 8. So what did we do? We hit the point. So the point was 8. We win the pass line. We win $25 on the pass line. The puck goes off. Our $25 bet in the come moves to the 8. Since the puck is off, we need to establish a point. We still have our $25 on the pass line. Let's roll for a point. There's a 7. Let's look at that. 7, 11 win on the pass line. 7 loses on these come bets. But 7 wins on the DC behind the 5. So we win 75. So one of these $25 losses gets offset by our $25 win. And this $25 goes against our $100. So we win $75. Okay, the 7 ends the game. The puck is off. We have a $25 or a 1 unit on the pass line. Let's roll. There's an 8. The puck will move to the 8. If we roll an 8 before a 7, we will win this pass line. 4 units in the DC. There's a 7. Remember I told you, that's our vulnerability point. When we have $100 on the don't come, if we roll a 7, we lose our pass line because that ends the game. We lose our don't come. It loses on 7-11. That's our vulnerability point. Okay, that game is over. 25 in the pass. Let's get a point. The point's an 8. The puck will move to the 8. 100 in the DC. We need to avoid the 7 right here. There's the 5. This DC bet moves behind the 5. 1 unit in the come. Let's roll. 7 out. 7 out. We lose the pass line. We win the come, so those cancel out. We win the $100 DC bet behind the 5. Gives us a $100 win. Okay? I hope this is starting to make a little sense. My next strategy, I will show you how to play this from the don't pass, or from the don't pass line. But right now, we're going to play from the pass line. Let's get a point. 7 and 11 win. Let's get a point. 7 and 11 win. Let's get a point. There's an 8. Puck will move to the 8. 4 units or 100 on the DC. Let's go ahead and avoid the 7 right here. There's a 9. The DC moves behind the 9. 1 unit in the come. Let's go ahead and roll. There's a 6. The come bet moves to the 6. We replenish the come bet. We have unlimited continuous come bets. There's a 5. Come bet moves to the 5. Let's just stop here for a second and think about this. So we have 6 box numbers. One of those box numbers is going to get covered by the pass line. One of those box numbers is going to get covered by the DC. So we still have 4 box numbers that we can fill with come bets. And they're 25 units. So if you've got 4 open positions times the unit, 25, that's 100. Now you understand why we put 100 in the DC. That covers those. Does that make sense? That's why it's a 4x, 4-to-1 ratio. Let's go ahead and roll. Let's see if we can get this come bet to move. It's a 2. The come loses on 2, 3, and 12. Let's replenish it. There's a 7 out. We take a look at that. The come bet offsets the pass line bet, right? 2 come bets on the 5 and the 6 lose, but they are covered by the $100 win behind the 9, which gives us a win of $50. Okay? Let's try it with a different denomination. Let's try it with $10. So 10 in the pass. Let's go ahead and roll for a point. Okay, the point's an 8. The puck will move to the 8. 4x, which would be 40, go in the DC. Okay, there's 40. Let's avoid the 7 here. It's an 8. Now, we win $10 on the pass line. The puck goes off. The 40 in the DC moves behind the 8. And we don't have a point, so we have to roll with the pass line to establish a point. Let's go ahead and roll. There's a 5. The puck will move to the 5. That's our new point. That will win if a 5 rolls before a 7. Now we've got 1 unit in the pass, 4 units in the DC that move behind the 8. We need to put 1 unit in the come. So you can change this to whatever denominations you like. That's why I make it a 1x, 4x, 1x ratio. Whatever x is up to you. Okay, come wins on 7 or 11. So we win $10. There's a 9. This come bet will, I'm sorry, that's a 10. This come bet will move to the 10. Let's put another come bet. $10 or 1 unit in the come. Come loses on 2, 3, 12, so we have to replenish that. There's a 9. This come will move to the 9. That's our second come bet. Let's go ahead and replenish that. There's a 6. This come bet moves to the 6. Let's replenish the come bet. We only have 1 open spot left, and that's the 4. There's the 9. Okay. Now, you've heard this before. Your come bet on the 9, your come bet on the 9 comes down and gets paid. Your $10 bet in the come moves up to the 9. So a lot of times the dealer will say that your bet is down and back up. He'll take $10, tap these numbers and give you $10 winnings. You'll win $10. But these two bets kind of flip-flop. They switch places. This come bet moves up to the 9. The bet that was on the 9 comes down and gets paid. Okay? So they call it up and down, off and on, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people have different terms for it. But basically, these two chips switch places and you get paid your $10. So you still got $10 in the come. Let's go ahead and roll. There's a 5. Okay? That was the point. The puck moves off. Your pass line wins. Your come bet moves to the 5. Since the puck is off, you now need to establish a point, and you have $10 in the pass line. Let's go ahead and roll for a point. Okay, the point is a 5. Your come bet in the 5 comes down and gets paid. The puck moved to the 5. So now this pass line bet will win if a 5 rolls before a 7. And you need $10 in the come. There's the 8. That is our DC. We lose the DC. Let's take a look at that. We lose the DC that moved to the 8 because we rolled the 8. So we lose our 40. Everything else stays. We still have a pass line. We still have our come bets. but we need a DC. So we now have to replenish 40 in the DC. Whoops, too many. There you go. So if you just kind of watch the table layout, what are you missing? Well, you're missing a DC bet, so you got to put 40 in the DC. Let's go ahead and roll. 12. We bar the 12 on the DC. This is where we're vulnerable still. 7 would hurt us here. There's an 8. So the DC bet moves behind the 8. The bet that was on the 8 comes down and gets paid. That's why we win $10. Okay, so what are we missing? We're missing a come bet. Let's go ahead and roll. 3 loses on the come bet. Let's replenish it. There's a 10. The come bet comes down and gets paid. This $10 in the come goes up to the 10, and you get paid your $10. These swap. Okay, down and back up, off and back on. Let's roll. There's the 4. Now we have every box number covered. What are we missing? We're missing a come bet. There's a 4. Down and back up on the 4. You get paid $10. 9. Down and back up on the 9. You get paid $10. 4. Down and back up, off and on. Did you see the $10 bet disappeared for a second and then it came back on? That's because it disappeared because it came down and got paid. This come bet moved up and then it reappeared, and then you still have your $10 in the come. Wins $10. 11, come bet wins on the 11. You get to this point here, you want a hot shooter to just roll box numbers and avoid the 8. Avoid the DC bet. There's a 9. Off and back on, $10 winner. There's the 8. So there we lost it. We lost the 40. Everything's in here. What are we missing? We're missing the DC. I know we're approaching 50 rolls. I think we'll end it here. Let's just roll. There's the 6. So the DC moves to the 6. The bet that was on the 6 comes down and get paid. What are you missing? You're missing the come. Okay? I hope this explains one way to use the don't come in a strategy. Now that we understand how the don't come works, this is a very good strategy that implements a don't come bet. So it starts with a pass line bet of 1x, then a 4 times bet in the don't come, and then continuous 1x bets in the come. Okay? So this is the Arnold, Waylon's Way Craps. Here's his channel. Go out and check him out. He explains how this all works. He has a lot of other videos. Our next video, we're going to do another Waylon's Way. We're going to show the Arnold, but we're going to play it from the don't pass instead of the pass. Same strategy, but a little bit different in how it pays out. Okay? So that'll be our video for today. Hope everyone's doing well. And as usual, thanks for watching.
Hey guys, if you made it this far, please check out these other craps related channels.